So as I mentioned in last week's video, I wanted to give you an update on my equipment. Now, after the problems in Italy, I went on a bit of a spending spree, a little bit of, I suppose, like shop therapy in the camera world, and I was getting so annoyed with my camera equipment in Italy and before that I decided to invest in a whole new system, and that system is the new Canon R5 and RF system. The reason I chose this camera in the end is because I do a bit of both wildlife and landscape photography, and so I needed something that could be versatile with wildlife, with a high shutter frame rate, as well as great resolution for landscape photography. And this is where the 1DX was falling down. The 1DX2 was great for the wildlife, for the most part, but for landscape it was so-so, you know, it was good enough. But one of the things that was always annoying me with that camera was the weight and the size. So if you look at this R5 body, it's much smaller and lighter than the chunky 1DX body. Doing a lot of long hikes, I really started to feel the weight of my equipment, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to change and go for something a bit lighter. But the problem is I haven't actually gone that lighter because the upgraded glass with the RF is heavier than what I used to carry. So it's a little lighter, but not as light as I would have liked. So paired with this Canon R5, I have the new RF 24 to 70 f2.8 and the 15 to 35 f2.8 as well. I decided on both of those lenses to be quite a wide aperture, so I can do more astrophotography. It's been something that I've wanted to pursue a bit more of in the future, so I decided, especially now that I'm back in Bonnie, Scotland, with the dark skies, I really wanted something that would help me capture the night sky at its best. And then for my long telephoto lens to use for landscape photography, I have the RF 100 to 500 f4.5 to 7.1, something like that. Yeah, 4.5 to 7.1. I decided on this lens over the 70 to 200 because I think it will be more versatile for me as a shooter. Because I like to do wildlife, I've often got to make a choice when I go out during the day, whether I take my landscape photography gear or my wildlife photography gear. And this way, I will always have a wildlife lens with me when I'm out on a landscape shoot. So if I do spot something, I will be able to get in there and get some decent shots. So that's my trifecta of lenses that I carry with me whenever I go out on a landscape shoot. I have got a couple of other lenses which I'll just go and grab to go with this R5. So as well as those three lenses, which is my primary gear, I've got these ones. Now this one I'm excited to try out because I've never had a lens like this, and I've heard mixed reviews from other photographers. And this is a 24 to 240 millimeter lens. It's got a massive range, going from wide angle to quite zoomed in. It's what they call a 10 times zoom lens. This one I decided on because when I go for long distance hikes, I don't want to be carrying 4 kilos of camera gear, which is what this roughly weighs. But with this lens and that camera body, I can go from wide angle to zoomed in, and it weighs just over a kilo. So it's almost a quarter of the weight with just this lens and that camera body. So I'm hoping that this will enable me to go longer distances, especially after lockdown, where I've put on a bit of weight and I've lost a bit of fitness. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out on some long distance hikes. And then the other two lenses that I've got are also for astro purposes, but these are when I really want. I've been out, I've scouted a location, and I know these focal lengths will work because these are fixed primes. This is just the 50 f1.8 and the 35 f what is this, f1.8 as well, I think? Yeah, 1.8 as well. So I got these quite wide to be used in macro, but also for filming. That was the other reason I decided to switch to the R5. I'm doing a lot more filming, such as this, and I wanted to go out and film more wildlife and on location stuff as well. So I wanted something that's very good at hybrid shooting between landscape, video and wildlife. So I haven't tried these really out yet. The other good interesting thing with this 35mm is it's a macro lens with a close focusing of 0.17 meters. What's that? 170 centimeters or 17 centimeters? That's pretty good. So I'm looking forward to trying that out as well and seeing how those images turned out. Now I am planning on selling the 1DX2. I want to get it professionally cleaned first because there is sensor dust on it. That was the other thing that was really annoying me, because I bought that second hand from an approved dealer and it's supposed to have come clean. But I remember on my first shoot with it, I was shooting red squirrels that were jumping and there was this big black dot in the middle of the screen. And it took me ages to figure out that it was dust on the sensor. I managed to remove that black dot, but all around the edges of the frame was lots and lots of dust, and it came up in every shot, and I'd have to spend maybe 2 hours cloning out sensor dust. It was too much, and I know that's a risk with these R5s, but I do have sensor swabs, so when I see a problem I can get to it quicker. That 1DX2, I used the sensor swabs and it just pushed them further to the edge. So I really want to get it professionally cleaned before I sell it on to the next person. I think that's just the right thing to do. And I will be selling a few of my lenses as well that goes with that system, but not all of them, because I have the RF to EF converter. So my big 500mm f4 lens, I can still use that with this camera. So I'm really looking to seeing how the high resolution combined with the glass of that lens turn out with some wildlife images. I'm also going to keep my macro lens and my 300 f4. So basically I'm only really selling 2 lenses off the top of my head. The 70-200 f2.8, I won't need that anymore. And the 100 to 400 f4 to 5.6, because I've got this as a replacement. So that's the main camera gear stuff. As well as buying new camera gear, I wanted to make my vlogs a bit more interesting and a bit different. So I ended up going out and buying a GoPro Hero 9. I still have the Osmo Pocket. I'll just grab that. So here is the Osmo Pocket. It's a great little camera. I really like the gimbal. I found it stabilized really well, and it followed me very well most of the time in the field. But the biggest problem I've had with it is mounts for it. Being able to mount it onto stuff, like putting it onto this clip, for example, I have to get an adapter with the 2 tails of the GoPro, and then they don't sit right. They want to be facing that way, and I can't see the screen when they're facing that way. So I want it facing this way. It was just a real pain. So I'm going to keep this, and I'm still going to use it, but I got the GoPro for a bit more adaptability. The mount choices are better. I can have a chest mount, which I bought. I got this clip as well. The selfie stick, of course. I'm hoping that'll be a bit better, bringing you in the field, a bit more dynamic. I can set this up for wide shots, close shots. I want to try it out as with some wildlife photography, setting it up and seeing if an animal will come close so I can get them within the scene. Basically, I just wanted this for a lot more, for the adaptability of just a small, easy to use camera. Along with the GoPro Hero 9, I got the GoPro Hero Max for some 360-degree filming as well. I'm hoping that will give some interesting angles for filming when out and about and what have you. So I can get you into the action, because that was the problem with Italy. I wasn't in the action myself, and I was just getting burnt out because of that. And then for audio concerns, I've also got the Rode Go wireless system just to so I can wear a microphone and have the camera further away and still be able to talk to you and include you in the landscape as well. And lastly is the biggest, well, surprise for me. I wasn't expecting to buy one of these, but I did in the end, and I think it will really add to my YouTube videos in the future for you guys, and that is a drone. So I've gone for the DJI Air 2S, something like that, drone. I haven't set it up yet, I haven't even flown it yet. I'm doing my A2C of C course, certificate of competency, before I fly this, because I don't want to inadvertently break a law when I take it on a test flight for the first time. And this way I can, I'll know all the laws and I can put them on YouTube, and I can take aerial photos, which I'm looking forward to experimenting with, and I can sell them commercially. That's the big thing. With this new certificate of competency, is much easier to access. It's just fully online, and then you register with the aviation authority about your drone. So I've got this with the smart controller, and I'm really looking forward to using this to film my YouTube videos, get some aerial photos, basically get a different angle to what I'm used to, because I'm always been at ground level. And I've seen some amazing stuff online, and I watch YouTube videos a lot, as I'm sure you guys do, and so not having a drone seems to be a bit of a handicap at the moment. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. So yeah, these were the big stuff. I've gone a bit over the top, I must admit, but I'm hoping that investment now will pay off in the future. What I am going to do is, over the next few weeks, I'm obviously going to be using these bits, and I might do a review video just about how I found the R5 and the RF lenses in wildlife landscape, and generally just being outdoors in Scotland during autumn into winter, and what's going on and how they've been behaving. As I'm a little worried about battery life with the R5, because they are smaller batteries than the 1DX2, especially in cold conditions. So I'm looking forward to trying these things out, and then I'll put together a little video explaining how things went. And I'll take you along on my first flight with the drone once I've finished my course. It's just finding the time to watch the videos at the moment. That's all of the new equipment that I want to talk about, really. I have a new tripod as well. Again, it's just because it was lighter. The Gitso, while being super stable, weighs 4 kilos on its own, and this one weighs 1.5 on its own. So it was all about reducing weight, because I was getting extremely fatigued when out for long walks. So I wanted to have something a bit lighter that meant I can go a bit further. And I settled on one that's on Amazon. It's not a name brand that I've ever heard of, but it's carbon fiber. So that's it for my new kit bag. I hope you're excited to go out with me with this new camera equipment. You're going to see some mistakes, I'm sure, because I'm getting used to the system still. I hope you're excited about what's coming up over the next few weeks in beautiful Scotland. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see me using this new kit. And if you've liked my little update video, hit that thumbs up. It does help with the algorithm. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.